हेलो फ्यूचर ऑफिसर्स एंड वेलकम बैक। आज हम एक बहुत ही क्रिटिकल और प्रेसिंग टॉपिक पर डिस्कशन करने वाले हैं, इंडियाज एग्जामिनेशन क्राइसिस and the resulting institutional reforms. If you are preparing for the civil services, you already know this is a highly relevant governance topic for your general studies paper 2. So, let's dive right in.
आज के इस विश्लेषण का फ्रेमवर्क कुछ इस तरह होगा. First, we will cover the paper leak crisis, followed by the causes of exam malpractices. Then we'll examine the Anti-Cheating Bill 2026, the Radhakrishnan panel reforms, restructuring the NTA, and finally, the way forward.
Let's start with Section 1, the paper leak crisis.
Just look at the numbers here. They literally set the stage for everything we're discussing today. We are talking about over 2 million students, that's more than 20 lakh aspirants fighting every single year for just roughly 120,000 MBBS seats. Imagine the pressure cooker situation this creates. Ye massive demand-supply mismatch na, it fuels a commercial coaching culture, creates immense psychological pressure, and ultimately establishes a highly lucrative co-motive for organized cheating networks.
तो यहाँ एक बहुत बड़ा सवाल उठता है. Has India's centralized examination system reached its breaking point? Are these just a few bad apples, or are we looking at a systemic governance failure? You see, as serious UPSC aspirants, आपको सिर्फ isolated incidents नहीं देखने हैं. You have to evaluate the structural and institutional gaps that allow these leaks to happen in the very first place.
But hey, before we make any sweeping generalizations, we absolutely must look at the judicial context. While reviewing the NEET 2024 case, the Supreme Court of India neutrally observed that, quote, sufficient material is not on record at present which indicates a systemic leak or systemic malpractice of other forms, end quote. So, while irregularities were definitely acknowledged, the highest court noted that the evidence at that time did not substantiate a completely compromised widespread systemic failure.
Moving on to Section 2, Causes of Exam Malpractices. Now, why is this happening? Hamari structural weaknesses actually बहुत evident हैं. Think about it. When you have a high-stakes exam combined with the over-centralization of millions of candidates under one single authority, you're essentially creating a system that is incredibly vulnerable to a single point of failure. Weak institutional capacity and poor administrative planning mean that when the system is stressed by intense commercialization and coaching culture, it simply cannot hold up.
And on an operational level, the enablers are pretty glaring. We are looking directly at insider collusion, printing press employees, IT staff, and invigilators acting as weak links. Organized cheating syndicates and criminal networks exploit these exact gaps. Combine all this with poor cybersecurity in an increasingly digital world, and a sheer lack of secure examination infrastructure like CCTVs and biometrics, while you literally have a recipe for disaster.
Let's look at the legislative response in Section 3, the Anti-Cheating Bill 2026.
Notice the massive jump in deterrence here through harsher penalties. For organized crime, imprisonment now has a strict minimum of 7 years, going up to 10 years. And look at the financial penalty. Fines have been massively hiked from up to 1 crore to a staggering 10 crore rupees. No joke. और जो corrupt service providers हैं, उनका debarment period 4 साल से सीधा 8 साल कर दिया गया है.
But you and I both know, deterrence isn't just about harsh laws on paper. It's about the certainty and speed of punishment. So the crucial point here is the mandate for speedy justice. The new bill requires states to designate special fast-track courts. Investigations must be wrapped up within 2 months, and trials must be completed within 3 months on a day-to-day basis. This procedural reform is absolutely essential to rebuild public trust.
Next up, Section 4, Radhakrishnan Panel reforms.
Listen carefully, because this is a highly probable keyword for your mains exams, so definitely make a note of it. CPPT. The panel recommended computer-assisted secure pen and paper testing. This brilliant system means question papers are generated digitally and printed securely at the authorized exam centers just shortly before the test begins. It practically kills the physical supply chain vulnerabilities, no more transit thefts or printing press leaks.
And to tackle the impersonation problem, the panel proposed the Digi exam. Much like the Digi Yatra system you might have seen at airports, this is a foolproof biometric authentication framework. It verifies the candidate's identity not just at the test center, but across the application, testing, and even the final admission stages. It completely shuts the door on fake candidates sitting for exams. Now, to manage the massive volume of students, the committee recommended a multi-stage testing model for exams like NEET. Think of it like the JEE Main and Advanced model. You'd have an initial screening test, likely a computer-based test, to filter candidates, followed by a final assessment test. Breaking the exam down into stages makes the whole process so much safer and easier to administer securely.
एक और बहुत प्रैक्टिकल रिकमेंडेशन है, द हाइब्रिड प्रोसेस। इस मॉडल में क्या होता है? NTA transmits the question papers digitally to the test centers to ensure top-notch security, but the candidates still mark their answers on traditional OMR sheets. ये मॉडल डिजिटल सिक्योरिटी और पेन एंड पेपर टेस्टिंग की एक्सेसिबिलिटी का एक परफेक्ट ब्लेंड है, which is especially useful for candidates from rural areas.
Let's dive into Section 5, Restructuring the NTA.
NTA का ऑपरेशनल फ्रेमवर्क ना पूरी तरह से प्रोफेशनलाइज किया जा रहा है। They're creating 10 new specialized leadership posts focusing purely on IT security and administration. Very significantly, from 2025, the NTA's mandate will be restricted to entrance exams only, no more recruitment exams. This allows them to really focus. They're also shifting away from private service providers, utilizing government Kendriya Vidyalayas and Navodaya Vidyalayas as primary test centers. Oh, and they are rationalizing CUET subject choices to minimize the massive logistical nightmare of creating multiple paper sets.
Parallel to all this, we have the Nandan-Nilekani Task Force stepping in, focusing heavily on next-generation technology. Their interventions highlight the inevitable integration of AI-based monitoring and real-time proctoring. The ultimate long-term goal here is a gradual, highly secure transition from paper-based testing to full computer-based testing, or CBT, to eliminate physical paper leaks once and for all.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 6, the way forward.
सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ क्या है right now? Restoring public trust and institutional credibility. Moving forward, the plan includes establishing 1,000 highly secure testing centers across the country. To ensure inclusivity, mobile test centers will be deployed for remote and hard-to-reach areas. There will also be a heavy emphasis on decentralized administration through stronger state and district coordination committees, backed by continuous external audits to keep the system honest and transparent.
And that brings us to your mains practice for the day. Consider this exact UPSC GS2 practice question. Discuss the major causes behind paper leaks in India and suggest measures to restore accountability in public examinations. I challenge you to write out a structured answer for this using everything we've just covered today. But ask yourself this: will these structural reforms finally break the backbone of the exam mafia, or will they just find a new digital loophole? Keep analyzing, keep studying, and I will see you in the next Fishlation. Jai Hind.